Hi Adventure Park kids, I'm so happy to be able to bring you another story time, and today we're going to read the book called Twirl, and this book is written and illustrated by Emily Lex. Let's check it out. Audrey girl loved to twirl. She twirled in the morning and she twirled at night. She twirled through piles of crunchy leaves and under the jolly glow of twinkling lights. Audrey twirled in fresh rain puddles and while eating double-decker ice cream cones. Day after day, a delightful feeling bubbled up inside her. It sparkled and flowed through her fingers and toes as she spun and leaped and danced so freely and lightly. Yes, Audrey girl loved to twirl. One afternoon, Audrey put on her favorite twirling dress and her favorite twirling shoes, and she went to the meadow beyond her house, where the birds sang their songs and the honeybees hummed and the wildflowers blew in the breeze. As she skipped along, she came upon a duck, swirling, twirling, dipping, and bobbing in the pond. "Oh, what lovely twirling, Mr. Duck," Audrey said. "Can you show me how to twirl like that, like you?" "Of course," replied Mr. Duck. "Simply paddle your feet and throw back your feathers and let the water move you." Audrey dipped her toes in the water, tossed her arms back, and slipped on the pebbles with a splash. She didn't have feathers like Mr. Duck, and she didn't float like Mr. Duck. And even though she tried, she just couldn't twirl like Mr. Duck. She picked herself up, and on she went, as the birds sang their songs, and the honeybees hummed, and the wildflowers blew in the breeze. She came upon a butterfly, flitting, flapping, and gliding gracefully through the air. "Oh, what lovely twirling, Miss Butterfly," Audrey said. "Can you show me how to twirl like you?" "Of course," replied Miss Butterfly. "Simply flap your wings and close your eyes and let the wind carry you." With eyes squeezed shut, Audrey stretched tall on her highest tippy toes, fluttered her arms, and toppled to the ground. Kerplump! She didn't have wings like Miss Butterfly, and she couldn't fly like Miss Butterfly, and even though she tried, she just couldn't twirl like Miss Butterfly. She took a deep breath, and on she went, as the birds sang their songs, and the honeybees hummed, and the wildflowers blew in the breeze. A bunny hopped by, springing, flipping, and tumbling through the wildflowers. "Oh, what lovely twirling, little bunny," Audrey said. "Can you show me how to twirl like you?" "Of course," replied little bunny. "Simply wiggle your tail and hop up high and let the ground lift you." Audrey wiggled and bounced and cartwheeled through the daisies and landed in a dizzy heap. She didn't have springy legs like little bunny, and she couldn't flip like little bunny, and even though she tried, she just couldn't twirl like little bunny. Audrey brushed herself off and rested beneath a tree. Suddenly, she didn't feel so free. A hush came over the meadow. Mr. Duck, Miss Butterfly, and little bunny gathered around their friend. "Audrey girl, you love to twirl. Why have you stopped twirling?" "Maybe twirling is not for me," she replied with a sigh. "I can't float like Mr. Duck, and I can't fly like Miss Butterfly, and I can't hop like little bunny. Maybe I'm not made to twirl." "But don't you see," they said brightly, "your loop-de-loop leaps and tippy-toed turns are perfectly and wonderfully made. God loves you and created you with your own special twirl. You are exactly as He wants you to be." A delightful feeling began to bubble inside her. It glittered and glowed from her head unto her toes until she couldn't sit still any longer. She rose to her feet, stretched her arms wide, and tilted her face to the sky, letting the sun shine over her. The birds sang their songs, and the honeybees hummed, and the wildflowers blew in the breeze. And Audrey and her friends twirled with all their hearts, each in their own lovely way. The end. Don't you love how Audrey figured it out? I love to twirl and dance, and I like that the story reminds us that we were all made perfectly and wonderfully by God. He made us all to be different. Did you notice how all three of the animals twirled differently? And Audrey twirled differently? And that's okay. We weren't all meant to do the same thing or look the same or be the same. God made us all different for a special plan and purpose. So don't worry about how other people are twirling. Focus on how you're twirling. Focus on what God is doing in your life, and not so much on what God is doing in someone else's life or what he's not doing in someone else's life. Because God made you special, and he has a special plan for you. So as long as you stay close to God and keep growing as a Christian, you're going to figure out what that purpose is. Do not let anyone else make you compare yourself to anyone else.